Welcome to the Pitmaster Podcast. We're barbecue competition competitors that aim to share information, advice, tips, and tall tales about our favorite pastime. Head over to thepitmasterpodcast.com for all things Pitmasters, or follow us on your favorite social media platform. And now, here are the hosts of the Pitmaster Podcast, the two-time grand champion, SCA World Champion finalist, and barbecue specialist of Smoke Ain't No Joke Barbecue, the Anthony Lujan, and the 24-time grand and reserve grand champion, reserve world grand champion, Wendover High Roller champion, and the founder of Pitmaster Barbecue Supply Company stores in Utah, the old man himself from Big Johnson's Barbecue, Jesse Johnson.
This is Greg Rempe from the Barbecue Central Show, and you are listening to the Pitmasters Podcast, and they are doing it live.
We'll do it live.
That's right, Bill. I just said that. They're going to do it live.
We'll do it live.
Yes, live. They're going to do it live.
What's up, Pitmasters? Tonight we have a special guest on the show. We have Christie Vanover. She was actually able to squeak us in between Thanksgiving and planning the barbecue jackpot that she has going on this weekend at Vegas with 977 teams. I don't know how she booked out that many teams, but it was crazy.
978.
Yeah, geez, I don't know. It's crazy. Just crazy numbers. People are fighting and trying to sell their spots to try to get in this competition. It's fine.
I've never seen a competition to fill up the way hers filled up and how excited people are to be, whether it's in Vegas or wherever else. I mean, she did a phenomenal job promoting this contest.
She did fantastic. And also I can see this, maybe we'll talk to her about it, maybe becoming an annual thing. I don't know. It's a lot of work to do on her own. She'd have to probably start thinking about getting team members involved, to just help disperse that workload, but we'll see what she has to think about doing it next year for everybody who's unable to make it this year.
Finding more space. That's the biggest thing, is like she's ran out of space. There's lots of big parking lots in Las Vegas.
Yeah, there is. They'll just knock out buildings for whatever they want, apparently. So
right.
Well, we're going to be talking about her book tonight, Holiday Grilling. It's awesome. We're going to be scrolling through some of her book here in just a little bit, so if you make sure you stay tuned to be able to watch some of her, to actually see her book behind the scenes slightly. Also, what's new with you, Jesse? Is there anything big going on?
We just got done with Thanksgiving, man. It was absolutely
right.
This is a crazy time of year. We were crazy busy today, and then everybody getting ready for Thanksgiving last week. It's like it was a madhouse at the stores. So
yeah, tell me about it.
I appreciate everybody that came into the new West Jordan store and saw Kim and Troy and gave them some love. They had some great days, and it's fourth quarter. People like Curtis Nations told me 100 years ago. He goes, your busiest quarter will be fourth quarter, and I said, you are full of mud, and he is. He was absolutely correct.
Right.
Fourth quarter is always the biggest one, which is surprising for here in Utah, being cold and snowy, and with people getting ready for the holidays, getting those cool gifts. We got lots of cool gifts, including a huge selection of what?
RFXs.
Yeah.
That's about damn time. I took so much heat from you throughout the couple months, but yes.
So here's what's funny is I ordered a bunch a month ago. I ordered a bunch the week before Thanksgiving and a bunch more like the Friday or something. They all got fulfilled on the same day.
Oh, wow. Yep. That's just the way that they all get. That's awesome. Yeah. Because they got a big order in. Yeah. To get them shipped out, man.
Blew out of them, and then been taking advantage of the specials right now. So we'll be loaded for bear for the holidays with all the cool gifts for your anything you want for a barbecue guy. We got you.
Right. And Crystal says she can't wait for Pitmaster Supply Company to open in Vernal someday.
Well, she's got the opportunity to do a franchise down there, and I think she'd kill it. She'd love doing that.
Yeah.
So,
well, Jesse, this is going to be our last official podcast of the season. We do take a break. We take an annual break between usually Thanksgiving and New Year's, just because it gets hard to book guests and everybody's busy and traveling and all that stuff. So I just want to let everybody know that this is going to be our last one of the season, but we are going to still be doing some tastings as well throughout there. And then if there's any dead air space, I will just fill it with one of our preloaded, already issued podcast. That way you at least have something to listen to. Maybe we'll do something way back when. Maybe we'll reintroduce Rusty for a minute or something like that.
Well, I mean, and it's nice to have Christie's book that just came out, The Holiday
Yeah.
Grilling, 111 recipes, and
Yep.
it's for all the different seasons of the year. It's, man, what a beautiful book. Christie did a phenomenal job. Looks like it's self-published, but what a beautiful book. I've been digging through it for the last 5 days, so
Well, you need to get some of these on order for the store as well.
that's the conversation after the podcast.
Heck yeah. Well, cool. Yeah. All right. But I just want to share one experience, Jesse, I had this week. I was able to visit Fleming's Steakhouse.
Oh,
Right.
you first time?
Yeah. Like, I'm not going to go spend $300 just for a steak. I had a gift card. I'm just showing. I'm a tight ass. I had a gift card. Dude, the service.
Fleming's is phenomenal. I love that. If you're gonna go out for steakhouses, you got
That's
Fleming's and Ruth Chris's in Salt Lake City
Yeah.
are two of my favorites. So
This is what we're going to talk about. The service was amazing. The waiters was amazing. Everything was great, but man, my steak was just not good, dude. I'm not saying that
Really?
just because I'm a steak cook. I got a ribeye. I didn't go for the bone in because the bone in is not going to sell me on that. So just give me a traditional ribeye. I was excited. They brought me out a nice, beautiful tri heart. Cut into it. Dude, it was overcooked. It was thin. It just tasted. Yeah, I was just sad, but I can't complain about a free meal all the way, right?
But you can though, because it's whether it's a free meal, or not. I
Yeah.
mean, you're expecting at a steakhouse like that to have phenomenal steaks.
Yeah.
I can't tell you. I don't think I've ever had a bad steak at Fleming's.
I did,
And I've been
unfortunately.
there, a dozen times at least, and I've always enjoyed their food. So
Yeah. So, but the Brussels sprouts were probably our favorite thing on the entire menu.
well, it's like going to Gordon Ramsay's steak in Las Vegas at the Paris. The steak was phenomenal, but the mac and cheese, I'd go back just for that.
Right.
That's crazy.
Well, yeah, it's just one of those things. And it's not just because I'm a steak cook and I know I can make a better steak at home. It's just, I wish that it would have came just a little bit better. Ruth Chris, they've never let me down. Fleming's kind of did, but it's all good.
Well, you should have sent your steak back to just tell them it's overcooked.
But I'm not that guy all the time. I'm like,
Yeah,
it's edible.
Isn't it hard to be that guy?
Yeah, it's edible and it's well done. You're in a fancy place. They tried. I get it because they're cooking hundreds of steak.
It tasted good, right?
It tasted good, yeah, but it's just
But it was overcooked. Yeah.
Yeah. So
When you want medium rare, you expect medium rare.
Yeah, exactly.
You might give them a little bit of love for a medium, but no,
Yeah.
not past medium.
Yeah, but that's just all I really had this week. That's all I've been up to, man. Working and eating.
Yeah. I've just been working and lifting. That's all I've been doing. So
all right, let's go talk with Christie.
I'm excited because this is a really cool book. This would be a great gift for the holidays. So
sure is, and it's available on Amazon. So order now while we're talking to her while you're looking at this book. So
yeah, let's load it. Let's fill up your cart.
Yep.
Yep.
We call it Thermapen 1, the first true 1-second cooking thermometer. Its unprecedented speed means Thermapen 1's responsiveness approaches the speed of thought. Because when you're plating the perfect menu or smoking the perfect side of barbecue, you don't have time to think about how your instant read thermometer is accurate to 0.5 degrees in 1 second or less, or how rugged and waterproof it is, or how big, elegant and bright the backlit display is. You'll just know it works, because our perfection powers your perfection. Seek perfection with Thermapen 1.
Welcome to the show, Christie. How are you this evening?
I'm fantastic. Tired, but fantastic.
Look at her in her queen. She's on her throne right there. What a beautiful chair.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. So, Christie, thank you for fitting us in between the holiday schedule and your competition.
And this competition this weekend.
You
You're
bet.
crazy.
Yeah.
I know it's an hour, but man, I know how it is leading up to a competition, trying to dot all the I's and cross all the T's, especially with how many teams do you have? 785?
Yeah, no, we were up to 87. We're actually down to 86.
Oh,
Surprisingly, I had like 15 or so drop out, and it's sad because most of them are like medical reasons. So I feel bad for the barbecue community, like broken legs and shoulders and like hitting cows with their trucks, and like it's it's a lot of chaos in the barbecue world. But we have 76 from 14 states. We got 115 judges from I think 24 states and even Switzerland. So it's still going to be a blast.
I wish I wish I could have got signed up to come down and at least judge the competition, but it's just the holidays is just crazy in the store.
Yeah.
So
Jesse, you still have 3 days, and apparently she has space. I'm just saying.
I don't actually now. I just upgraded a lot of sites to like be bigger. So
got it.
Yeah. Because originally, like, once we sold out, then we got down to, I added more room, but I was limiting people to still be 18 by 18 so we could fit all these teams that wanted to cook. So once some teams dropped out, I was able to then extend them to 18 by 36 so they could, accommodate their trailers and stuff better. So in the end, I think it's working out where everybody's going to have the space that they need. But next year, I'm going to ask for more room because why not?
Yeah. Always ask for more.
Yeah.
Hey, Jesse, just real quick, can you turn your headphone down just a tiny bit? But yeah, so Christie, where did you get this idea? I'm going to write a holiday book. I know we've all literally thought about it, but then I say, hey, I should put out a book. No, I shouldn't, because that requires a ton of work and a ton of time, and I'm not that committed. So where did this come about?
I've been wanting to publish a cookbook for years, close to 10 years, really. I mean, ever since I've been in the whole cooking side of things for a long time in recipe development. And then when I started Girls Can Grill in 2015, I had reached out to a publisher, probably 2016, 17. I've been around a little while, but still new to the scene. And at that point, there weren't really a lot of women who were in the grill space. And I talked to a publisher, and they just decided that they didn't think a cookbook by a female griller about barbecue would sell. They just didn't think there was a niche for it. I think Diva Q's book was already out, but that was, and I'm sure Melissa Cookson and, other really big ones, they had their books and stuff, but they just really, that publisher specifically wasn't interested. So I kind of said, okay. And then I brainstormed like, what would a book be about? A general barbecue, how to barbecue, women in barbecue, like went round and round. And then I took 5th place in the world in brisket at the Jack. And I said, you know what, I'm going to write a book on brisket. Like that's just the really basics all the way to competition. Just really go deep into brisket. Talked to another publisher and they said, Stephen Reichlin and Aaron Franklin, they've got the brisket books. Those are the ones that are going to sell. We just don't think that yours is going to be able to compete with that. They're bigger than you. I said, okay, I will take another no for an answer, no problem. And then I just said, F it.
Yeah.
I'm going to do this myself. And I fortunately have the skill set of publishing from a standpoint of I know how to do graphic design, photography, writing, recipe writing, especially because I used to publish magazines for the military. So I realized I had all the tools and the knowledge, and I just needed to sit down and make it happen and come up with a theme and an idea, beyond brisket or women in grilling. And and I knew the holidays. I think it was like July that I said, hey, I want to do this. And my goal was to have it done by October, and I did. And now it's out.
You started in July.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay. How many recipes did you have in your pocket?
Yeah, probably like 70. Yeah, I would say I had the bulk of it. And most of the photography had been done in the past that I had stuff that I could use. So it was really just adding the rest, reshooting some photos, the editing process and the layout process, and figuring out how to self-publish. That was a big challenge. Amazon makes it so easy. I tested it.
Really?
I think I talked about it on your show before. So I tested it with these 2 books, my score sheets books for state cook-offs and KCBS comps. And they're basically just empty journals that you can write your scores in. And I started by creating those and publishing those and seeing how the Amazon KDP process works. And I found out it was so simple. All you have to do is make your PDF document of whatever your book is, follow their guidelines as related to like page sizes and stuff, and then upload the file. And then within a few days, you can order a proof, which I highly recommend because I've changed all of mine after receiving the proof. And then you eventually hit publish, and it's available for anybody to buy.
Wow.
So easy.
Well, Sean Repair just got his copy.
Oh, thanks, Sean.
That's awesome. Yeah, Christie, the first thing that jumps out at me with this book, a lot of people well, judge a book by its cover, right? That's where it came from. But the photography of this prime rib on the front cover definitely just stands alone. It actually takes away from the wording, which is kind of good because it makes you want to pick up the book and look inside. And the photography inside the book matches the cover, so it's very eye-catching.
Great job on the photography.
You go through the pictures and it makes you want to stop immediately, you know. So
awesome.
Good work on the photography.
Thank you.
Looking through it, you know, it's very easy. It's not like you don't give like this whole huge story of where it really comes from and everything. You get a little, you know, synopsis about what it is, but then you give the ingredients and then how to do it on one page. There's books out there it takes 4 or 5 pages to actually go through it, and I feel like that's wasted space, and you're able to fill that space up just with quick recipes, and I think you did a great job on this.
Thanks. Yeah, some of them definitely are more advanced. Like my smoked brisket recipes in here, and obviously that can be like 4 to 6 pages, but that's where in some of those recipes I include a QR code, so you can scan that with your phone, head on over to my website, and you can get like pages upon pages of like how to trim it, how to select it, all that stuff.
Right.
But yeah, I really wanted to keep this to just like that basic thing that you could keep in your pantry, pull it out for those quick recipes.
Yeah, and it's just kind of, you know, put your book on the book stand and then just have your recipe right there. You're not switching pages. You're keeping it actually clean because you're not turning those pages. So that's well thought of. If you thought about that, that's just what came to mind.
I did. And it was also important for me to have a picture of every recipe on that same spread because you want to know what it's supposed to look like. Like, am I doing this right? And it doesn't have step-by-step photography, you know, like how to whip your eggs, but at least it shows you the final dish. So when I buy cookbooks, that's actually one of the things I look for is like, what is this recipe going to look like in the end? Is it something that I'm going to want to eat? And so I try to present that with every open spread page. You're going to get the full recipe, ingredients, and that picture.
Yeah, literally. It's just flip through it, you know, and just like, that looks amazing. I want to do it this weekend. There's my ingredient list and how to do it. It's like, you can't get much simpler than that because I think people's just pushed it too far. That's what your blog's for. You know, that's what Girls Can Grill blogs for. You can go into detail and then you can find the science of it and everything like that. But a book, you just want to be able to open them and I say, I want to cook that, and everything's there. It makes it simple.
Yeah.
It's kind of the Apple of cookbooks. It's just easy to use.
Well, and that's the thing. It's a user experience as a cook. I'm just flipping through the pages and it's just okay. Yeah, that looks interesting, and it's simple enough that a beginning barbecuer or a beginning cook could make these dishes. I think the way you have them laid out is so simple and so clean, but I really love your photography on these. It's yeah, I'm gonna make that. Oh, I'm gonna make that.
Right.
It was also important for me too that I reached people of all sorts of skill sets. So like I said, there is brisket. There is, you know, a crown lamb roast that my friend Keita actually contributed to the book. There are some more complicated things, but also for people who have maybe never grilled before and they are doing the green bean casserole for Thanksgiving. There's a recipe for that you can cook on the grill. But with almost every recipe, I also give some oven instructions if you do want to cook it in your oven. But I want those people to realize that just because you think this is like a Thanksgiving or Christmas dish that has to go in the oven, no, it can go on the grill. So if you're good at making that, now let's move it outside. And so in the beginning, you know, I talked a little bit about indirect heat, direct heat, smoking, just so people can learn the concept of using their grill like an oven. And then once they master that, it just is so simple.
Heck yeah. So the first thing that I noticed right out the gate, let me see if I can go back to it. I'm scrolling, is that you have it laid out within the first couple pages of, you have Easter, Thanksgiving, New Year's, you know,
holiday specific.
Yeah, you just open that up and be like, okay, for Thanksgiving, I want to try these. You know, it makes it super easy versus that's one of the hardest part with going through a cookbook. You're like, what do I want to try to cook? And then you end up going through the whole book and you don't remember anything you wanted to, and then you go through it again. And then sometimes you just forget it and say, you know what, I'm sticking to grandma's recipe, you know, and it's kind of one of those things, right? So it's being able to have it laid out on the first 3 pages, it makes it easy. So
it's really a footnote. It's a footnote for me too, because every holiday I'm like, what did I make last year for Thanksgiving? And so having it there even for myself to go, oh yeah, these are my go-to dishes. Okay. And then I can get the recipes myself easily too. I don't have to go to my website and bookmark 10 pages. And so yeah, I'm glad that that's working out for you too.
Yeah, so let's actually, people who are watching this live are going to be able to see this. I'm going to try to, I'm not going to give away too much book of the book here. We're just going to scroll through it, check out some of the stuff, and we'll just discuss what we come
my
across.
sister-in-law could have used these Brussels sprout recipes. Oh my gosh. She's not allowed to cook them anymore. That's my
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna have to use yours
Yeah,
because I
so
love it with balsamic glaze.
right.
Yeah.
And so this, I'm sorry, my scroller is just, I don't know why it's being so finicky, but this was the page that I was talking about here, is that your holiday cook list.
Yeah.
So
Yes. And
it's
within that page too, you'll also see that there's 2 QR codes there. One that goes to my rubs, because some of my recipes do recommend using my rubs. And then the other one on the right there actually goes to my YouTube channel. So for some of these recipes, I do have YouTube videos. Some are long form, some are YouTube shorts. But again, that way you can actually go there, go to that playlist and kind of see how the recipes are made too, if you want to.
heck yeah. And then, yeah, like I said, these are like, yeah, this is a grill, but it stands out. It's kind of artistic as well. So, but yeah, as you go through it, you have learning to cook by temperature. This is key. I'm huge about that. You know this, being a ThermoWorks employee, this is huge. We don't go by time, we go by temperature.
Yep.
And this is the first cookbook to mention the RFX.
Oh, wow. Big news. Big
I did see
news.
that. I saw that.
Yes. Yeah. That is awesome. Yep. So, but yeah, it's a very traditional entry, and then we just get right into it. The first recipe right out the gate is the smoked salmon candy. As you guys can see, like, I'm sorry, I can't really scroll this tight to be able to get it. Maybe there we go. The photography is amazing with this, but yeah, it's 111 recipes. This is a lot. So what made you decide to, go with these recipes? We know you have hundreds of recipes. I'm pretty sure you could probably make another book, but what decided to make the cut? Was it by your palate, or what other people's told you that's had these? What was the, this is going in the book?
It's really influenced by my own family holidays and what we eat. Some of the recipes are handed down from generations. Some of them are, more modern, new things, but they're things that my family loves to eat, and that they ask me to make over and over. So that was a key factor. I also really wanted it to be diverse. It's not just mains and sides and desserts. Like, as you can see from what you're scrolling through right now, you've got appetizers, some that are like rich and indulgent and cheesy, or those asparagus bites that you just saw. Those are, a little bit more delicate for, like a Mother's Day brunch or even a New Year's. But then, you've got these meatballs that are just going to be like, tailgate food, or, or whatever else. But then in addition to that, I wanted cocktails. And not all the cocktails are grilled or smoked. There's some that have some grilled or smoked components, but really it comes down to the simple syrups and different ways to make simple syrups and turn those into non-alcoholic or alcoholic beverages. Oh, those Tom and Jerry's that's my great uncle's recipe. They're so good.
my mom used to make a Tom and Jerry mix when she had her bakery. So they always sold Tom and Jerry during the holidays. It was so good.
Yeah, it just is so nostalgic for me. That one's one of my favorites in there. And yeah, you can see the different simple syrups, and basically it's just infusing sugar and water and then adding some kind of flavoring component. And then I give some cocktail recipes to go with each of those. And then brunch is important for me because for my family, especially Christmas morning, like we are always starting it with a big, huge brunch, usually with German pancakes and usually with like sausage casserole. I do like to make my own homemade sausage. You don't have to grind your own pork. You can just buy ground pork and then mix in the seasoning blend and make your own. And, it's just something that's fun and special. Even if you wanted to do breakfast sausage as a gift, you could, mix it all up with the seasoning, and then you could wrap it up in parchment paper and freeze it and then give that to gifts as homemade breakfast sausage. So it doesn't have to just be things that you're cooking yourself, but could also be things that you're giving as gifts, especially the simple syrups. You could give those as gifts too.
That is actually a really good idea.
I can't wait to try your corn chowder recipe, your Christmas Eve recipe.
Yes.
That looks good. I love a good clam chowder, but I was digging through that today. I'm like, I think that might be a new Christmas Eve tradition.
That's my mom's recipe. And yeah, it's just not Christmas Eve without it. But the twist that I make is I do like to grill my corn on the cob and then put the grilled corn in there. But she just uses canned corn or frozen corn. So like there's options, and I mentioned that too.
Yeah, this is just amazing. And you have just the basic pancake
Those are the best pancakes ever, I promise you. You make them with Sprite or 7-Up, and they're so fluffy. Yeah, it's the best.
What do you think it is? Is it the soda and the water? What do you think's triggering that?
I do. I think the effervescence of the soda in there. I worked at McDonald's years ago, and that was part of the component that was added with the batter there. I mean, like years and years and years ago. I don't know if they do that anymore, but and so it's just something that I've always done.
Right.
Yeah, I've always used that in my cobblers, in making my
nice.
having the bubbles in the cobblers to
Yeah. Ooh, I'll have to try that.
get a little sweetness into your component for the crust itself. It's so good.
Oh, ooh, I'm gonna try that. Yeah, then we come, to the mains, and obviously turkey is served at so many different holidays, and so I go really into my basic recipe, and then I share how to cook it on basically any type of grill: charcoal, pellet, gas. I think maybe ceramic cooker, drum cooker. I can't remember exactly all of them, but yeah, I just wanted, because that's one thing that people can seem to figure out how to like cook a casserole on any grill, but they get intimidated with the bigger meats. So I really broke that down there. And smoked whole turkey is great for if you're feeding a huge crowd. You don't have to have one big, beautiful bird. I mean, multiple big, beautiful birds. You just need one pretty one for presentation. The rest can just be pulled turkey. And,
right. So I was going to actually talk to you about this.
Yeah.
Jesse, I'm getting feedback from you still, pal. But there's a viral video going around with Franklin's Barbecue and their pulled turkey. Have you seen this?
I have.
No.
So they're just taking half a turkey, putting in pans, putting about 97 sticks of butter in this pans. No, I'm serious. There's so much butter.
Wow.
It's probably closer to like 3 or 4 cups of butter in there, and then they're putting them in their smokers, and then I think they're braising them, and then they're coming out and they're just pulling them, and they're just so juicy and amazing. It looks like, but I wanted to try this, but now I have a recipe for guideline. What's the secret to that? Because you don't want to overdo a breast, but you have to be able to overdo it to be able to pull it.
Actually, you don't. The secret is letting it rest like you let a brisket rest, and not worrying about the skin. So I don't braise mine in butter. I basically just cook it like a regular turkey and pull it at 160, 165. Obviously USDA recommends 165, and then you wrap it in foil or plastic or whatever. Wrap it in a towel, throw it in the cooler, and then you're gonna have that carryover cooking. So really, you could pull it at 150 if you wanted. And then just let it sit there for, I can't even remember what I put in this recipe, how long, like maybe an hour, but by that time, all the moisture, all the butter that you have inserted, everything, if you brine it, that's going to add even more. And that's just going to just make it really super juicy. And then you peel that skin off, because this isn't for the skin, this is for all the meat. And then you just pick through it, pull it. And if you feel it's dry, which it won't be, you can throw in some, chicken broth or turkey stock or even more melted butter if you want to.
You could even take these with a sweetheart breast and just rip the skin off and just do the sweethearts that way.
Yeah.
That'd be a super easy way to do pulled turkey.
Yeah. Now when I do my pulled turkey, I do it with the skin on, because the skin is going to give me that moisture and flavor throughout the cook. But for sure. And I think that's why if you do a boneless, like skinless turkey breast, a lot of people do that like total butter bath. Nothing wrong with it. It's just that's not the technique that's in this book.
Gotcha.
Right. Yeah, this is the mains. Here we go. Smoked beef tenderloin. I'm just curious. This probably cost you thousands of dollars in meat. So did you just do this over time? What was the process being able to go through all these cooks and making these cooks happen for the book?
Like I said, some of them I've had pictures of. I have another website that I started years ago, and some of the recipes were in that. I'm very fortunate that I have a freezer full of meat, because I work with different companies and they do send me, different meats to use occasionally. But I mean, I did buy product too, but to me, it wasn't so much about that. And it honestly, this isn't so much about me getting rich off a cookbook either, because that's not going to happen. It's just me sharing my family recipes and teaching people that you can cook traditional dishes on a grill. Like, you might not think to go outside, but people complain, oh my God, I don't have enough oven space. I've got the turkey in there, a ham in there. Where am I going to cook the sides? Well, if you have a grill, or 30 like me, then you have more than one oven. So that was really my main goal, is to just share my family recipes and encourage people to try something a little bit different with their holiday cooking.
Right. So with somebody who's going to walk into Jesse's shop probably tomorrow, is going to buy a new smoker, and they want to cook a holiday meal, what appetizers, main, and sides would you recommend for somebody who's just going to get started like this weekend?
Sure. Yeah. One of the things I do recommend is making things in advance before we get into the recipes. Some things you can prep in advance, like if you're doing, I don't know, green bean casserole or any of the other. Oops, sorry, just lost my.
Oh, you're good. That's fine.
Are you guys still there?
Yep, we're still here.
Okay, good. You can prepare your casseroles like roasted vegetables and stuff and get up that all in your baking dishes so that when it's time, when the turkey comes off, it's already ready. You're not like preparing stuff after the fact. You get everything, do the mise en place as much as possible, trim your green beans, all that stuff up front. But yeah, I would look at the recipes that have like the shortest cook time. If you're worried about drying something out, I would go with maybe some of the fattier dishes that, the meatballs, you can't go wrong because they're just fatty and juicy and delicious. If you want to have some fun brunch things, go with, the biscuits are a little bit more complicated, but if you want to do the German pancakes, those are so easy. And it's just 6 eggs and some milk and some flour. So if you mess it up, it's not the end of the world, but they're delicious and easy, and you're going to want seconds of those. With the mains, I mean, obviously turkey may not be the first thing that you're going to want to cook, and tenderloins can be rather expensive, but there's other options in there like Cornish hens. Those are really fun to cook because you get 2 to a pack usually, sometimes just 1, but in the freezer section, they're usually not that expensive. I haven't priced them lately, but and they're cute, they're petite, they're a good experiment to go with. So yeah.
Sounds good. And then what about like pulled ham? Is that something that you'd recommend for a first time go, a pre-cooked ham that you just overcook? Or
yeah, I've never actually made a pulled ham. I don't have pulled ham in my book, but I do have ham in there, and that's absolutely an easy recipe because it's double smoked. It's already cooked. And my technique is just basically you're braising it, and I talk about how I do my glazes. There's like basically it's like jam, mustard, soy sauce, and you can use any flavor jams. So sometimes we use the pineapple topping that you get out of the ice cream aisle. Sometimes we use like apricot jam mixed with red pepper jelly jam. And I talk about the different flavor combos that are really good. Cherry jam is delicious with it, but it's basically having the braising liquid, knowing the temperature to cook, on your grill, and basting it and then finishing it with that glaze.
Right. And then obviously everything's paired with Girls Can Grill seasoning, right?
Yeah, obviously the Girls Can Grill seasonings. I think they're on the shelf behind me. I don't have them with me right here, but if you don't have that right away, you can use salt, pepper, garlic, and poultry seasoning, or some other kind of sweet rub. But they're even better with my rubs.
Right, or then you're just going into Jesse's shop too, and then he'll point you in the right direction as well.
Yeah,
yeah, we gotta get the new products in with the new labels on.
Yes, that's what I was just thinking. Happy to hook you up.
I'm trying to find
somebody who knows somebody, right?
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out, dude, can you point me in the right direction? I want to see this RFX shout out on this thing here.
I think it's in that temperature page that you were talking about.
It was up front. I remember, right?
Oh,
that's what reminded me of it.
Yes. There we go. Yeah, and you got you rely on ThermoWorks. Thermometer.
Eggnog French toast. Man, that sounds good.
I think it was there. Otherwise, maybe in the resources page.
Yeah.
Because back in the back, I talk about, like, if you like the food styling and the pictures, I talk about the plates that I use. And digital, and on page 208, digital meat thermometers.
Perfect. Yeah, that's awesome. Heck yeah.
And it does come in soft cover and hard cover. And that's one thing with KDP. When you do Amazon KDP, you're going to see a lot of cookbooks on Amazon. Be cautious, because what happens is there are companies, I don't know who these imaginary folks are, but there's people out there who figure out what keywords are trending, and then they use AI to completely produce a cookbook, including the recipes that have probably never been tested. Then they get stock photos that don't even match the recipe that they've cooked, or they use AI to produce photos, and then they can publish a cookbook in like 30 minutes. And I've bought some because I've been curious about them, and the content's not great. The recipes don't always work out. So there's cookbooks out there. And then what they also do is they use the cheapest paper quality, which means they can sell it for $9.99. I didn't want to have the cheapest paper quality. My photos, I felt like, deserved the quality of paper that I put them on, and that if you're going to buy a family cookbook, it needs to be beautiful. So that's why you'll see my cookbook is not $9.99. is because I really wanted to focus on the quality and not turn out an AI style book.
Right, and then you also have the soft touch cover on the
Yes.
paperback,
Yes.
which is super nice. Good feature.
Thanks.
Yeah. So, Jesse,
Yes, sir.
what are you cooking this weekend, dude?
I've got to do 6 prime ribs for Friday. So prime ribs, I'm doing baked potatoes and some grilled chicken thighs, and I'm doing a potato bar for them. So you have all the
Oh, fun.
fixings for the
Yeah,
potatoes. Yeah,
we're
about
talking about for
80 people. So
we're talking about for you out of this cookbook.
well, I'm gonna one of the prime ribs is just gonna come home with me. That's what that's
Got
gonna
it.
happen.
There we go.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
I could
I have a
nosh on that for a minute, but
And
secret.
we were talking about, like, I've got horseradish sauce recipes in here. I've got gravy recipes in here too.
the
So
creamy
yeah,
horseradish sauce. I'm going to be making that, and then
yeah,
I may be making that bacon corn chowder.
yeah. You could
So
add jalapenos to it if you want to, if you like a little heat.
yeah, and then we should be drinking the sparkling cranberry punch right now too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I already decided. I have such a busy weekend already booked, but this pecan pie cocktail is probably going to be on the menu.
Yeah, that one's fun.
Yes.
It's so easy once you make that simple syrup with the pecans and spices in there. It's just, yeah,
So, do you recommend
smooth.
if I'm going to do these simple syrups? You have
Hmm.
4 or 5 different, I guess, a few different simple syrups.
Hmm.
Is it easier just to make a base and then
Yes.
disperse that into
Yes.
different flavors?
Yeah, like you might want to do like 3 cups of water, 3 cups of sugar, just even amounts, and then just divide that out into, like, multiple jars or bowls or whatever, and
Okay,
then infuse. Yeah,
nice.
that's what I usually do. I think that's what I did when I shot the cookbook, actually. And then just store in the refrigerator. I mean, it lasts a long time. So,
Yeah.
um, yeah,
Yeah, and if you do the smoked simple syrup, if you do put it, what you should put it in the fridge and kind of let it calm down for a good week.
yeah, yeah.
Looks like
Oh,
Travis is
poor
going to be
Travis.
air fried corn dog. Hey, listen here. I've seen this recipe. Don't know why I haven't done it yet. But people are taking what are they? The fairground corn dogs.
Okay.
Just the ones you get from
Yeah.
Costco. They're throwing them out there on their smokers, getting them to start to crisp up. Then it's splitting them open
Okay.
and then filling them full of chili and cheese, and then bringing them up to a finish. And then so you get the crispy edge, and then you still get your corn dog with chili and cheese in the middle. So
I'm not mad at that.
so
I might even Hasselback that thing.
yeah, you probably could. So Travis, you can still make an amazing meal with your air fried corn dogs. Just a little effort, bud.
See, and I did make the sausage egg casserole of a version that I kind of just whipped up for Thanksgiving morning
Mm,
for my mother-in-law and sister-in-law and my wife when they were cooking. I made that for them to get them started. So
nice.
that's a great little recipe right there. I did add some gravy from biscuits and gravy into it though. That was
Oh,
like a
yum.
cool little touch too. So,
Yeah.
but man, that
What I
German
love about
pancakes look good.
what I love about that though is that you can make it early. You can, like, you make
Yep.
it the night before and let it sit in the fridge. So then you wake up in the morning, just throw it in the oven or throw it on the smoker.
Throw it on the
Yeah.
smoker. Yep.
Yeah.
So honestly, how do you guys feel about eating for breakfast for like before Thanksgiving or Christmas dinner? Like I think it should be done, but you just never I always forget to just because I'm instantly, pulling birds out of brine, getting everything patted down, getting fire triggers and
Yeah.
The first thing
offsets
you
and
do is you
everything
get
else.
up, you turn your smoker on, you throw your casserole on, then you start messing around with all this
Right.
stuff.
There we go. I
Well,
need to get that figured out.
what we did this year, we did Campsgiving this year. So we went up to St. George, Utah, and just went camping and cooked everything outside. But we always do like bacon and eggs for breakfast on Thanksgiving because we need the bacon grease, because I use that in basting my turkey. I mix that bacon grease with some whiskey and some soy sauce and then baste
Nice.
it. So yeah, we cook up a big bunch of bacon and
Chrissy's like, I don't give a damn if you want bacon or not. We're making bacon and you're eating it because I need the grease from the
Right.
bird.
Don't
and
threaten
then
me
it
with a
might go
good
in green
time.
beans. It might go in the potatoes.
She's like, I don't give a damn. We're having bacon no matter
Yep.
what. That is
Man, I haven't had
hilarious.
dinner. Y'all making me hungry.
Right? Yeah. And just looking through this cookbook is just amazing. And
Oh, it's killing me,
yeah,
Smalls.
it is definitely killing me. And yeah, like
Thanks.
I'm like I
But
said on the intro, like your food probably looks better than what I got at Fleming's. Just saying.
And there's
well, I tell
desserts
you
in
what,
here too. Yeah, there's pies and candies. Like if you have to do a cookie swap or cakes, like my indulgent chocolate cake, that one does take a lot of work. But its title matches itself. And then the carrot cake that's in here is the recipe I got a 180 on at the Riverside competition recently. So that's my
well,
full recipe that I use. And it
Yeah.
might even be a picture from that day. I don't know, but
there's so many
yeah,
breakfast options. That's what's cool is that people can dig
yeah.
through this and get a bunch of really savory style breakfast options, and then uh, wow, I went through the breakfast and I'm like, I'm dying over it. I love breakfast for dinner. That was something
Mhm.
that I did with
Yeah,
my father a lot. Is like we had a lot of dinners that were breakfast style. So
Well,
nice.
honestly, I think that's kind of one of the hardest things to deal with is breakfast. Especially on Christmas morning. Yeah,
Hmm.
kids and other people opening presents, and you just don't feel like doing anything. But some of these recipes are super easy, where it actually like we can still have an amazing breakfast with little effort, right?
no,
Yeah, like the
you just
eggnog French toast.
Yeah,
make that chowder. That can be breakfast as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
And then you throw your prime ribs on, and by the time prime ribs ready, you're ready to rock and roll.
Yeah.
right.
But even like
Make
that
that.
eggnog French toast is like basically it's a mock eggnog that you make and you cut up the bread and soak it in the pan and then same
Uh,
thing. It's ready, you just throw it in. And the King's Hawaiian roll stuffed French toast, those are really fun too. Kids really like that one too, but you take
Right.
like
oh,
pumpkin pie filling and squirt that right into the rolls,
yeah.
roll them around in some
Mm.
sugar and egg and
I did not read the second line of that. That's interesting to do that. That's kind of fun.
yeah.
Mhm.
And you can fill them with anything. You could just use like strawberry jelly or I think in the book I did it with the pumpkin pie filling, but yeah.
Man, I have this eggnog recipe, Christy. We can put it in your
Yeah.
next your book,
Okay.
next book. But
Okay.
it's obviously got just the quality eggnog, a cinnamon whiskey, and then the kicker was I found this apple pie filling sauce.
Ooh,
Ooh,
Yeah,
sounds good.
and then you
Is it the
froth
one
that.
from is it the one from Idaho?
No, it's
Okay.
Pyrodos. It's a local
Okay.
grocer here, but it's just an
Okay.
apple pie filling, and then you froth that and put. Oh man, it's an amazing eggnog.
just don't use that
Yeah.
cinnamon whiskey that you gave me. That
Yeah,
stuff is horrid.
everybody likes it except for Jesse. So,
I know because I have a distinguished palate.
or a broken one of the two.
Might be broken, could be broken.
But yeah, it's
But man, those
definitely
Hasselback sweet potatoes look. That I know Travis mentioned it earlier in the podcast on his text. Those look delicious.
yeah,
Thanks.
yeah, definitely for sure. So
You
So
guys
every
got to
easy.
go out and buy this book. Get on
yeah,
Amazon right now and get you
yeah,
this book because I tell you
we've had
what.
we've had one purchase from the since the store show started. Let's get one more before this live ends tonight. But Chrissy, let's just switch gears just a little bit because we're coming to the end
Mhm.
of the podcast. You have teamed up with Patio Provision. You have
Yes.
something that is new on the market. Let's talk about those products and let's let everybody know that what's going on with those.
Yeah, so I had my rubs with Spiceology for a couple years, and then there were some tweaks I wanted to make. There were some changes they were doing to the company, and we just decided to do a separation. And I took my recipes to another co-packer, and I've been working with Todd and Susie from Hey Girl Hey, and they also own Patio Provisions, and they've been helping me with kind of the taking everything on my own now, because before Spiceology kind of took the burden and the heavy weight. So same recipe, same award-winning blends, but a couple tweaks to make them just really the way I wanted to, like with the granular texture and things like that. And
Uh-huh.
now they are at Patio Provisions in St. George and available at shop.girlscangrill.com and soon to be on Amazon and already in, I think, 7 or 8 stores across the nation. So, yeah.
Heck yeah.
Yep, we have them in our stores, and then so now I can order your stuff because I hated your old place. I hated Fair. They're because they can only find your little bottles. Oh, the big bottles are on a
Uh,
separate website. I'm like, well, that
uh,
doesn't make any sense. So now I can just order them
yes.
from Patio
Yes.
Provisions, and they'll
Now we're
take care of it.
controlling it all in-house and we will take care of you. And they're all standard size bottles now. So before they were huge, like either 20 ounce or like the little teeny
Yeah,
ones. So now they're like,
teeny ones don't sell.
yeah, yeah,
They don't, and even the big ones sell at our store. We sell a lot of big bottles,
sure. Yeah.
but to have the standard size in, it would be awesome. So
Yeah.
I'll move you up
Yeah.
a shelf.
Woo, thanks.
Yeah.
And the labels, I love the labels. They're so much better than, the old ones. I didn't really brand them because it was the Spiceology brand. So
Yeah.
Right.
I don't have them in front of me. They're on my shelf back
Oh,
there.
yeah.
But
Well,
And they're on page 2 of your book. So
yes. Chicken,
labels,
pork, and brisket.
people don't understand how hard labels are because you've got to get the right size, got to have all the
Yeah.
information on it. You got to
mhm.
go buy your UPC codes.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a
Well,
lot
and
to it, but
I designed them myself, and when I sent just the file to a couple people for their feedback, they were like, "That's pretty plain." But then I put it on a bottle and I stuck it on my shelf of rubs, which is it looks like your store probably have that many rubs in my pantry.
yeah.
And then I said, "Okay, now look at my rubs compared to everybody else's." And they said, "Oh, yours pop out. Yours stand out." I said, "Exactly. You have to keep it simple
Mhm.
for
Yep.
it to pop, and explain what the rub is instead of calling it the cluckety cluck chicken, like
Yeah.
let people just know what it's for."
Exactly.
It
Yeah.
simplifies it for the customer. That's the thing
Yes.
is they come rolling through and they all because granted, barbecue guys have some amazingly creative names on their bottles.
Yes.
But you have to explain to people what they're for and what
Mhm.
product you can use them on, and
Yeah.
the simpler it is, the better it works. So
Yeah.
Really is.
Thanks.
We'll give shout out to Diane Main for
Yay.
you bought
getting
a
that
book.
book. She got a book. All right, let's go.
Thanks,
Let's
Diane.
up the ante. One more. Let's get one more ordered. But
You get a book. You get a book. You get a book.
exactly.
So can I get these books from Patio Provisions?
I haven't set that up yet. So
Okay.
it's one of the things with KDP is you can't really do wholesale pricing. So I did
Okay.
order a bunch at semi-wholesale pricing so that I could do some signed copies for people who want signed copies. So I can talk to you offline about what those prices would be. I
Cool.
found that in order to get really competitive, you got to get them printed in China. And unfortunately, with the shipping, they wouldn't be here by the holidays to get.
Be for forever.
Yeah. So maybe
Yeah.
for next holiday or Easter, I'll get that really, really good rates. But yeah, we can
Get it
definitely talk
dialed in.
about it. Yeah.
All right.
Heck yeah.
Awesome.
And then just with that, just for some strange reason, you decide to come out with another rub.
Yeah.
Is it easy for you to be able to make that change in the book on the next runs? Can you take a new photo and slap it in there, and then being able to have it like update almost immediately on the next run?
Because it's KDP, you just have to do like version 2 and upload a new PDF. So yes, absolutely. But I do think that my next rub and my next cookbook will be all about pastrami. So I plan 2026 is my goal for a pastrami kit, basically that has a brine and a rub. I should probably not be sharing all these secrets. Someone's going to
Yes.
steal it from me.
It's okay.
But then also,
Yes. Yeah.
but that's okay. And then also a pastrami book to go with it because I love pastramifying like everything. So
Oh,
yeah.
I love making pastrami. It's people stress out about it. It is so easy to do on a
Yes.
smoker.
Yep. Yep. It's just learning the technique and seasoning, and then you go from there.
Right.
Other than your own, who makes the best pastrami?
Hats in California. The
Yeah.
Hat. No, it's
Hats?
called The Hat, I think. Yeah, The Hat.
Yeah.
What's
I mean,
the place in New
Cats is good. Cats
Cats is
Deli.
supposed to be the joint. I've never
Yeah.
been to New York, never had cats, but all my buddies
I've
from New York go, "You haven't had pastrami until you had cats." I said, "I
yeah.
make pretty good pastrami, but they're
I haven't
I'm sure
haven't
they're
been there, but I ordered it and they ship it. You can go to their website and they ship it with the bread and their mustard and their kraut and everything. And we had it delivered for I don't know what holiday it was, but it was maybe not holiday, sometime this summer. And it was really good. It was. But I really
wow,
like the Hat in California. They like shave it so thin and their sandwiches are like 6 inches tall.
monsters.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
delish.
I don't know if there's
love
anybody
that.
that's good in Utah. I'm accustomed to Crown Burger.
That's
But
and that's a good pastrami burger, but I don't know of anybody that makes
a
a
solid pastrami.
pastrami burger. I mean, you've got Moochie's that makes a great meatball sandwich, and they also make a good
Mm.
Philly. And then
Mhm.
there's a place in Clearfield, Utah. Nobody knows about it.
Oh, they're about to.
They make I can't remember the name of the company. It's right by City Hall, but they make a bunch of different Philly cheesesteaks that are just off the
Mm.
charts.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yep. And get them loaded. It's weird to have mustard and ketchup and everything on a
Ooh.
Philly.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
it is the bomb. I'm
Wow.
serious.
Interesting.
Yeah. Anyway, I
Yeah.
can't remember the name of it.
Well, yeah,
I
one of my
digress.
favorite. Yeah, one of my favorite sandwich shops here in Utah is called Grove's Market. It's literally a market, and they have the deli in the back.
Those
It's
are
one
the
of
best
those.
kind.
Yeah, you got to walk through all the hot sauce oil aisles and everything to get to it. It's no bigger than probably this room that I'm sitting in right now. It's not very big, but the deli is huge. I'm
It's
talking.
like, what was what?
Oh,
Uh-oh.
did we lose him? But yeah, those sandwich, Christy, I'm telling you that it's a full loaf and they're like $13. They're like it's
Oh,
enough
that's
to feed 4
reasonable.
people. Yeah, so sandwiches are kind of a good thing.
Yeah.
I need to find a good pastrami company though. That's my goal now. Now you set the bar, and I can be like, Christy, I went to this spot.
Now,
Next time you're in Utah, try it.
if there's anybody in Utah that have had a pastrami sandwich somewhere that's phenomenal, please post it in the comments.
Yeah.
So we can do a deep dive and go
Yeah.
hop in there.
Travis got your
Philadelphia Sub Shop. That's exactly what I'm talking about. For the Philadelphia cheesesteaks. It is worth it. It is so good. Not many sandwich shops have lines like they do.
So yeah, we want to hear your Utah. I guess we'll say Nevada as well, because that's where Christy's based out of, and we'll just throw in Arizona as well.
But there's got to be something in Vegas because there's so many New York transplants. There's nothing in Vegas pastrami.
I don't go out to eat much.
Why would she go out to eat? You know, she has great, and then the in-laws know how to cook, so it's just like there's no need for them to.
On my side of town, I don't know. Let's see, Pops Philly. I have heard that Pops Philly is good. Decatur's on the other side of the world for me from where I live. But I have heard that one's good. There used to be a Philly shop down the street from me, and they just closed. But they were good. I forgot what they were called, but it was
doesn't
good.
matter anymore. They're closed.
I know.
And I don't think people realize how much culinary experience you have, Christy, because when you were on Barbecue Brawl, all the little nuances that you were taking from the Asian community and mix it into your barbecue.
Thanks.
I was full on Cheshire Cat grinning so hard because of all the little stuff that you were coming up with. I was couldn't have been more proud to know you doing such a great job on Barbecue Brawl. It was very cool. Some people may not realize it. So if you get a chance, hop on the Barbecue Brawl and check out when Christy was on. It was so cool. It was so fun.
Thanks. Yeah, I was lucky. Since my husband was in the military, we lived all over the world, and we lived in Korea. I took some courses in Korea. My husband is Filipino, so I've learned some of his culture's cooking. I lived in Europe, and then I went to Le Cordon Bleu in Paris for a couple of their short courses. So I've loved food my whole life, and I've loved learning about food, and it's fun to incorporate some of that into my barbecue. Oh, Travis likes my lumpia, so thanks, Travis. I've entered that in different SCA competitions before.
Are you making the lumpia with smoked brisket yet?
I have. I've been doing that for years, and smoked pork and and then drizzle it with like that chili sauce. And sometimes I'll mix the chili sauce with a little bit of barbecue sauce if I'm stuffing it with something that's already smoked, and just gives it that little cool flavor.
What are you doing? Are you putting any smoked meats in your pancit? That's what I'm wondering, because it's such a delicate noodle.
You could. I don't actually make pancit very often. I make adobo a lot, but not pancit so much.
Yeah, I'm a big adobo fan too. Can't go wrong with adobo.
And I do like to do a pre-smoke on my meat for my adobo. Like I'll do the wings, just get a little smoke on them, or pork chunks and get a little smoke, and then finish it all off in a pot and get it seared up and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, with my adobos, like pork is great, but I always feel like chicken hits the best. I feel like chicken pulls in the most flavor.
Yeah.
But Jesse, are you familiar with Filipino food? Have you had any Filipino
I've had a little bit. I had some really good buddies when I was started my DJ career up on base. We had a lot of Filipinos in the Air Force, and going over to Jerwin Mendigoran. His mom could just cook her behind off. So good.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. I'm saying Filipinos food is probably in my top 5 for sure.
Yeah.
It's what's crazy about it is it's so basic. There's not a lot of pop to it. It's just the way that the flavors blend.
Right. Like adobo is just like vinegar and soy sauce and pepper and bay leaves.
Yeah, and then you're pouring it over rice.
But you have to have great rice though. The rice has to be a killer. So I mean, I used to make fun of German. I said, you guys are making enough rice for 1,000 Asians. I'm like,
We
you got
eat
the
rice like
great
3
big,
times a day.
yeah, huge pots of rice. My sister
Yeah.
does the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and just the different things that are out there. Like a lot of people don't know of the like halo halo. You know, it has to have the sweet beans, and if it doesn't have the sweet beans, it's not
Yeah.
even halo halo. So it's just it's just different
Yeah.
levels. It's just I like their layering. So
And I
Now,
do
is
have
there
my bebinca recipe. And I don't have a lot of Filipino recipes in my cookbook, but I have my bebinca recipe, which is the recipe that I made on Food Network, actually, on Barbecue Raw. So this is the coconut
oh
yeah,
sweet
yes,
rice flour cake, and
yeah,
they're so
yeah.
good. But we do make those for the holidays, so I had to put that in this cookbook.
All right. Is there any
2020.
good Filipino restaurants in Utah?
Yes,
Oh, I don't know.
What?
it's called oh, I just totally spaced the name of it. Oh, I just totally spaced the name of it.
Okay, you're buying then. You can't remember it. You're buying. Any
Canoli
in Vegas,
something.
Christy?
How do they say the little bananas? What is that called again?
I don't
Plantains?
know.
Yeah.
No, they're the little teeny sweet ones. I don't remember. I mean, Toron is
Yes, that's it. Yeah, the
banana fill.
Turon. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. It's
Okay.
BF Turon. That's what it's called. Best
Oh,
friend
okay.
Turon. Yeah, and it is. Yes, it's legit. They do it buffet style. You go down the line, they just have it, and little old lady
Yeah.
comes out of the back and just fills the bins in, just throwing stuff everywhere, not caring because she's just mad that she's even at the restaurant. She should have been retired, but
There are a ton of Filipino restaurants in Vegas. I mean, the Filipino community, I believe that Tagalog, which is the language of the Philippines, is the third most spoken language in Vegas. So it's
Wow.
English, Spanish,
Oh.
and Tagalog. So that's how big the Filipino community is here. And so
Wow.
there's several restaurants. I can't name a favorite because usually, again, I'm cooking,
Yeah.
which isn't as authentic. I realize I kind of Americanize some things. I don't use bagaong, which is the fish sauce.
Yeah.
So I kind of take some of those flavors out sometimes. But
What
yeah,
about banana
lots of good stuff.
ketchup? Are you using the banana ketchup?
Yeah. Oh, heck yeah. That's in my barbecue sauce. Yeah.
Yes.
With Sprite. You got to mix it with Sprite.
All right.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, pro tips here. We shouldn't be getting those out. We should.
That recipe's on my website.
Yeah. So, Christy, we've already discussed 2026 for your next book. So I think 2027 is definitely an international cuisine book. That would be amazing.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Love it.
We can get birria tacos in there,
Sure.
lumpia, yeah, all of it. So
Yeah. Some of my French dishes, Belgian dishes. Yeah, why not?
yeah, exactly. You know what's really crazy about French dishes is they're so delicate, but I don't know if I never really had anything that just stood out in my brain. Same with German. Yeah, they have great sausages and everything like that, but there's nothing
Schnitzel.
that just really like jumps. You're like, wow, like like Asian food or Indian food, it just really pops. But
Sure.
French
Right.
and German is just kind of like, this is really good, but it doesn't have any wow. That's how I feel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's how I feel.
Yeah, it's usually heavy. I mean, especially German
Yeah.
foods, fried heavy gravy and
Yeah.
but except for cucumber salad and stuff. But yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Heck yeah. Well, let's do the spiel. Tell people where to find you.
All right, you can find me at girlscangrill.com. I am on all the socials at Girls Can Grill. If you want to follow the barbecue jackpot competition that's happening this weekend, go to barbecuejackpot.com for all that info, or the barbecue jackpot on all the socials. I have my podcast, Barbecue Tips podcast, as well, but I'm taking a break for 2 weeks because of Thanksgiving and the jackpot. But I should be back right before Christmas.
Do you need any more help down at the competition that people could hop on the website and sign up to help or volunteer?
I don't have a sign up anymore. We're kind of down to the wire, but if somebody wants to show up and help out, I got a volunteer badge I'm happy to help you with, hand you in. I'm sure that we could find something for you to do. Yeah. It'll be a good time.
Well, sounds
good
good.
luck.
Yeah.
Good luck this weekend, Chrissy.
Thank
Hope you just
you.
absolutely have
Yep.
a smashing show. Hopefully,
Appreciate it.
all the teams keep their area clean and clean up after themselves, so you don't have to do it. So
Right.
I feel you, girl. I feel you.
Thanks.
Cool. Alrighty, guys.
Appreciate
Thanks for listening.
All right.
Happy
Bye.
holidays.
Happy holidays.
Yep. Cheers.